students, welcome to the third lecture of resources and development. We all know resources are vital for human survival. We cannot survive without the resources. We cannot survive without the land, we cannot survive without the water. There are many other resources without which we cannot survive at all. We also need these resources for maintaining the quality of life. It was believed that resources are free gift of nature. As a result, we started using these resources indiscriminately without thinking at all. And this has led to the following problems. The problems faced by the human beings because we human beings are using these resources indiscriminately. The first problem is depletion of resources. Resources are getting depleted to satisfy the greed of the few individuals. Only few people are getting the opportunity, they are making use of these resources. They won't reach the other people at all. But finally, the resources are getting depleted. Accumulation of resources in few hands. Accumulation of resources in few hands. As I said earlier, only few are getting the opportunity to make use of these resources and few are not at all getting any opportunity. Thus, dividing the society into two segments, that is haves and the have-nots, rich and the poor. The third reason is global ecological crisis. Indiscriminate exploitation of resources has led to the global ecological crisis such as global warming, ozone layer depletion, environmental pollution and land degradation. So which are the three problems we are facing here? The three problems we are facing today because of the indiscriminate use of resources by the human beings. Depletion of resources, accumulation of resources in the few hands has divided the society into haves and the have-nots, and the third is the global ecological crisis. If the present trend of resource depletion by few individuals or the countries continue, the future of our planet is in danger. The future of our planet is in danger. That's why we have to see that we use these resources sustainably. We use these resources judiciously. Resource planning is essential now. Resource planning is essential for the sustainable existence of all forms of life. All forms of life have to live on this planet. And for that, we need to have sustainable development. So, sustainable existence is a component of sustainable development. I think everyone knows what is sustainable development. Once let us repeat here what is sustainable development. Development is there here, but it should take place but without damaging the future, without damaging the environment, without damaging the or without compromising with the future generation. Today's development should go on, but it should not damage the environment. Today's also it should be development and it should not compromise with the future generation. We should also see that in the future also those resources are there. That development should not harm the future generation. So resources have to be used judiciously, and this can be done only through the resource planning. That is what is our next concept, resource planning, which is very important because resources are limited. Why do we need to have resource planning here? Because resources are limited. And if these limited resources get exhausted, there will be no economic development in a country, and even there will be no resources available for our future generation also. That's why we need to have a resource planning. The resources which are available in our country or available on this planet are very limited. If they get depleted here, there will be no development at all. And we need these resources for our future generation also. That's why we need to have a resource planning. Resource planning is very important in a country like India. It's very important in a country like India. The reason here is because our country is a diverse country where the resources are available in a different regions. There are regions in India which are very rich in certain types of resources, but in the same region some other resources are deficient. There are some regions which are to be considered self-sufficient in terms of availability of resources. There are some regions in India where they are self-sufficient in some resources, and there are some regions in India where they are facing the acute shortage of the vital resources. Let us understand with an example here. Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, all of them are very rich in minerals and coal deposits. Arunachal Pradesh has abundance of water resource, but it lacks in the infrastructural development, that is buildings, industries. The state of Rajasthan is endowed with solar and wind energy, but it lacks in water resource. The same region, it has some good resources and it is lacking in some resources. The cold desert of Ladakh is rich in cultural heritage. It has a very good culture, but deficient in the water resource and infrastructure and minerals. So this calls for the resource planning. That's why we need to have a resource planning. It has to be planned well, how to distribute it to all the people in the country, at the national level, at the local level, and even at the state level. These are the reasons why do we need to have a resource planning. So in the next video, we will understand how is resource planning done.